hit it. Maybe we won't lose too many.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't hear anybody, and I thought, well, I'll just take myself out. Uh,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
took everybody out, man.
We need to ask Bob. There's probably a way to leave without ending the broadcast. I guess.
Well, I
But
came right back, but I was in the back room when I come back on.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least
So I,
since Frank was in, he got to stay.
right, right. And Earl's sharing the link with him, so hopefully we're getting back up, and maybe
Okay.
somebody will come on over and see the link.
Yeah. Bob called me, and I told him it got accidentally killed when you left. It may not. It maybe there's a way to leave without doing that.
Hey, Lee. Lee, there'd be the man to tell us how
Oh,
to fix
Lee.
it right there.
Awesome.
Hey, Bob.
I'm gonna go ahead and post this link. Okay.
Yeah, maybe everybody will see it and come back in. You can't give a hillbilly a button, boys, and expect him not to screw something up. And open the chat for everybody too there.
Yeah, Lee.
While you're in there,
Lee.
John.
Bob, Lee, please come in and help us. Hey, there's Errol. There he is.
I thought y'all kicked me out, so wasn't gonna let me in.
Tell you because I got to remember to look down at the bottom of the screen.
But we just lost 15 people. No, I'm just kidding. We only had 17 on. They was drinking. They'll come back if they want to do something tonight. If they're bored, they'll come on.
It was getting
Y'all
kind of
hit that light. Jump on in here, people. It ain't too late to talk about bees. It's never too late.
Yeah, I'm sorry, everyone. I apologize.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I thought if I, bounce back real quick, you guys wouldn't even miss me. And
that's where you're a moderator. Remember the other night?
Show.
I done the same thing on the first episode.
I know it, dude.
Yeah. We can't hang up. None of us can hang up. If we do, it shuts it off. When you end broadcast, it ends broadcast.
I guess there's no way to leave, huh?
Just X out.
Yeah, Rodney. Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
You got to X out at the top without doing it.
Oh, okay, right. Hillbilly's missing an arm.
Dude, when I teleported to this universe, my computer went down.
There he is back. Oh, thanks for coming back, Frank.
I lost my arm when I teleported. And our guest for tonight is Frank Moore of Galloway Lights, alias Fred Flintstone.
Oh.
Woo! Love the tree hive. Love that they've reoriented the 13-degree angle to north and south, top and bottom, instead of...
Now you're going to get me in there and looking at them closer.
Well, they are already looked. When you got that last spring out and put it back in,
leave studio,
you had that honey around the
string.
edges. Some of that uncapped honey was 13 degrees up and down the tree trunk, and it was awesome. I liked it. And I'm like, you're going to have to you can just lay his frames in there like this and spin them all out. That's good. I might do that. That's cheating.
All right. Now, Lee.
Yeah.
Lee's the master. We got
to
leave studio, but do not end the stream. Because the way we set it up, Frank, we've all three got.
Yeah, we learned that, Lee. We learned that.
Rodney, how did Rodney come back in? Did he have to go back through a different link, or was you able to just come back?
He just went to your channel. He just went to your channel probably and saw the second live. So there's going to be 2 recordings of chapter 1 and chapter 2.
Which one do we have to click on in order to get the hat?
I forgot to even mention that tonight. We got.
Ain't you at 200 now?
Yeah, you'll have to comment in half of one and then finish your comment over in the other.
Yeah, well, what I'm gonna do, Frank, is I'll do another short video here in a few days, and it'll be up to John what he does on that. So.
You need to have our shots, all 3 of our shots flowing at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, I'll put up a short video.
Oh, it popped up. Thank you, Rodney.
Because I don't know how.
Well,
we got
screwed
3.
everything up, man. I'm sorry.
Well, 4 now. I guess that's 4 other than us, right?
I don't feel bad now. It's just
if I would have just came in, everything would have went smooth.
Hey, Bob, it says 5 now on it.
Were you down there
Brother
long,
Bob.
Bob?
I was like, oh yeah, a few minutes. It's no big deal.
Let's stay
Yeah.
on, see who comes.
Oh man,
Frank, we'll have to get you back on again, man. When I won't screw everything
Bob.
up when you
Bob,
come in.
last time I left the studio and shut it all down. This time, Houston did. Us hillbillies, we can't learn one
Well,
time. We got to do it twice.
At the
And
top
we
of the
reserved
screen,
Johnny a
it's
turn.
got the end broadcast, right? And
we
the
already
one
know
at
now.
the
Don't
bottom of the
humiliate us
screen says
further.
leave
Stop
studio.
it. Quit it.
Now, you had me fooled, Earl. I thought you could read the way you was doing Shakespeare. I was like, oh, Earl can read. Who knew? And
It
now
wasn't Earl's fault. I done all that, Bob, so I apologize.
he did it last time.
yeah.
He done
Now
it
it's
last
my
time.
turn.
I done it.
Was that when I
There
went
went
out?
Frank.
We lost Galloway. Maybe
When
he'll be
did we
back.
die? When did it go? With the end of the poetry or right in the middle of it?
No,
no,
it was
it-
after
no.
that. Frank
Oh,
was already
Lord.
on, and y'all were talking, and then all of a sudden it just dropped and went to Shelton's next video. I was like, "What the heck just happened?"
Hey, man.
I went to
Guess
Shelton's
what?
video.
Hey, y'all need to hush and listen. Flo Hive just texted me and said thanks for our support.
Oh, did they?
Wow.
Yes, they did.
Well, maybe
They
they'll
was
let you give
watching the
away.
show.
Maybe they'll let you give away a free Flow Hive.
Yeah, tell them we need
Hey,
some
man, they was watching.
merch.
They was watching. I
The,
can't believe it. They was watching.
That's a good thing.
Interesting. Yeah, hopefully they weren't watching when we messed up.
Hey, James, thanks for coming back, man.
Oh, here's Frank. He's coming in. There he is again.
That's
All
the
right.
original Fred Flintstone.
So Frank's been on 2 episodes now, but they were both tonight.
He's been on several of ours.
If you take his picture off, and let him talk. He almost sounds like Greg a little.
Oh, does he? I'll just close my
Hey,
eyes.
Bob,
Try
did
it,
you lose
listen.
anything in the earthquake?
Huh?
No, we've had earthquakes. They've been like 3.5, 3.6 the last. We've had like, I think since November they said 27 earthquakes and like 2.5 or higher.
Wow.
So that's
What are you on,
unusual
fault
for over
line?
here. Yeah, some
Bob,
fault
did
line.
you get my entire poem? Did you get to hear my entire poem, or did it get cut off?
I heard it. I did hear the entire poem.
I was about to cry. All that work I put into it.
There's
you, kid.
Johnny's. I sent Johnny some of my honey today,
Yeah,
so
looking
it's on
forward
its
to that.
way there. It'll be good.
Woo! That's what happens when you eat hillbilly, honey. You go, woo! Mwah!
Is that your spring honey,
Hey, Bob, can you laser etch the honey jar?
I can.
That's my spring honey.
Oh, nice.
I can. It would probably be. I mean, I could take the jar and spray it down with this. Actually, believe it or not, dry Molly lube.
Hey, y'all want to see my
New
other
glass.
jar?
Yeah. Oh, it's empty.
Yeah.
That's
I sit
that
here and
real
eat it.
clear honey.
Yeah, yeah.
Do not enter.
that
Excuse me, what
that
kind of honey,
red
Bob?
button. I'm not supposed to
That
hit the
real
red
what
button.
kind of honey?
That
It is
That's-
June.
that's that real clear honey.
Oh, it's June. I figured it was.
Houston's out on
Shout
his
out.
walk.
Shout out to the LGBTQ buddies.
Hey, did you guys see the? I did a quick live after I talked to you today, Johnny. Did you see the queen bee that was just sitting there with like 5 or 6 bees around her?
No, I didn't get to see that, Bob. I've been so crazy busy.
I think it was a virgin queen that went out and got mated and came back and got lost, and it just landed on the 4x4 hive stand.
Wow.
And I don't know where she went. I put her in a roller cage, but my dumb behind. See, these are the mistakes you shouldn't do. So the roller cage had, I thought, a plug in the end, right? And so I put her in one end and set her down on the stand and went. And when I came back to her, I didn't realize it was just a queen cell protector. So she just crawled out the other end. I don't know where she ended up going. Hopefully, she found the right colony to go into.
Yeah.
Is anybody gonna ask Houston where the heck he is?
Uh-oh.
He's
Looks like a
he's in
dinosaur.
Pigeon, Pigeon
he's
Forge.
I was
Yeah.
trying to show Bigfoot, man. He's back
Oh.
there.
Yeah, but us hillbillies call the whole thing Pigeon Forge, even Gatlinburg and all of it. So you got to ask us specifically where you at.
If I was a betting man, he's probably in Gatlinburg.
It looks
Yeah,
like Pigeon Forge.
Pretty much. Yep. Pigeon Forge.
Yeah,
right
all
there.
us hillbillies go to Gatlinburg. It's cheaper.
It's just a few miles apart.
It's the Hillbilly Myrtle
Yeah, but it's
Beach.
cheaper.
Mm.
And if
Yeah.
you're real poor like me, you go to Cherokee.
And lose the rest of your money at the
I'm
casino.
gonna try to run down
No,
Cherokee.
I go to Cherokee
hey,
for obvious reasons, y'all. I like visiting that place. It reminds me of what
Yeah.
Grandma what she had to leave.
I'll show you my
Yeah.
flock of chickens I found here.
Oh,
Some of those metal chickens. Houston.
yeah, yeah, man, they're $200 a piece.
Y'all talking?
Wow.
You're talking about the 10-foot cocks?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. What the heck is? Get away from me!
$200.
I bought the wrong
Bob,
thing.
Don't
I
let
should have
Bob
bought
see
a
that. He's gonna
welder.
start lasering them.
I
Yeah,
could
he's gonna
do
start
it.
laser welding now.
I'll be stuck on a damn mug with a
Oh,
big
look at that.
pecker
That's
coming at
nice.
me. Get away!
Oh yes. See, Hilla?
Nice, Bob.
So the only persons I've sent out so far is Johnny's. I got to find some boxes that these signs fit in. I just
We'll
have
fight you.
Yeah. Hey guys. Bob, I ordered one from Bob that's going to say Hillbilly Hives Live. I'm gonna hang it up on the wall back here, Bob.
Bob showed it on his video last night.
Oh, cool. You saw it already.
everybody's seen it before you, Johnny.
Yeah.
I'm here, but I can't see anything. Probably on my end. Yeah, I can see it on. I've got it streaming on the other monitor over here. It's working for me.
Oh, one of them damn.
How many
Bob
monitors you
boys.
got going, Bob?
My wife said last night he sounded like he should be on radio.
How many? What?
How many monitors you got going?
I've got 2 on this computer, but I've got another computer over to the side that's got 1 on this side. So I've got 2 computers running, 3 monitors. I used to run a lot of monitors when I was doing day trading.
Did you hear me, Bob?
I did not.
I didn't hear you.
My wife said that you sounded like you had a radio voice. You should be on
I-
radio.
I sure have a
That's why
face
he's
for
so
radio.
good. I
I
said
sure
that's
have
why
a
he's so
face
good
for
on
radio.
these YouTubes. He's got the voice.
His voice carries real good. It does.
I just need to wear the
he's got a
paper
radio
bag.
voice. He's almost as loud as me.
Oh yeah, I'm loud.
Yeah. William pointed out that Bob worked for iHeartRadio for a while.
Yeah, I did. I did
Yeah,
work
he
for
did.
iHeart. But the my military disability is for hearing loss, so I talk extra loud too. So apologize if I'm blowing anybody's speakers out right now.
Huh? Did you say something, Bubby?
Right? Just blowing it out. I was looking. Oh,
Now, were you doing that live, Bob?
do what?
I love Cherokee. Love it down there, Dennis. It's awesome.
Were you doing the radio live?
No. I was in sales.
I
was
don't
in
like the
sales
bears. You go see the bears in Cherokee, it sure stinks when it's 100 and some degrees.
But I got the
Man.
bullet.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, let me see what you etched on it.
Well, it's 2. I did a practice on it to
Let me
try to
see.
get my settings right.
Make him big. Make him
So-
big, Bubby.
So
Make
that's
Bob
the,
big.
Okay,
that's
I'm
the
sorry.
first one I did with the laser. Wait a
Oh, wait a minute, that make me big.
He's always selfish like that. Y'all look over him. I'm just kidding, brother. I love you.
Oh, no, that's all
Now,
right.
how do you get that all the different sides of that?
I've got a rope.
Oh no!
Me-
Oh God, Johnny, what'd you do?
Hey, Bob, tell me how do I make you full screen, Bob?
I don't know. Don't you just click on my head? That's Lee's department. I'm just a spokesperson.
Tell me, Lee.
So
Come
you
in
got a
here, buddy.
rotator?
Don't
Yeah,
ask
I've
me.
got a rotator. So it sits on a roller, and
Oh!
I'm
She's
trying to
killing
make it right.
so it
Oh, that's
rotates.
good. I thought that was me.
It rotates back and forth, and the X-axis laser goes back and forth while it turns.
Cool.
So the first one, I didn't have the power settings right, and then I did it again a little bit stronger.
Nice.
And it's just Palmetto State Armory logo trying to get in their stores, but I don't know if it happened. But it's a little double wall insulated tumbler.
Oh,
Hey,
I
look,
see
you
that.
figured it out.
Yeah, but I knew Johnny would get it.
Stainless
Look
steel.
at that. Now let's
Hey.
see it, Bob. Let's see it.
Oh, you want to
So
see
now
it
you
now?
can etch honey jars.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is that, Bubby? What's on that?
Palmetto's State Armory.
Hey,
They manufacture a bunch of ARs.
what was on top?
Same thing. I just did. That was
Twice.
the first time I did it. I was
Listen,
testing
did you
it,
have to-
right?
Did you have to paint it, or did the bullet suffice just by being brass?
Just the way it was. I just put it on there and let it go.
So that's a powder coat of copper, not really copper, huh?
No, this is stainless. It's stainless. It's got something on it. I don't know what kind of coating it's got on it, but it worked.
Probably
But it
powder
just-
coat of copper.
Looks like a big round. That's it. So
Hey,
That's right, man. Hey, didn't you hear what they asked you the other night? Are you going to bite the bullet?
hey, look here. Lee asked, did Lee pay you to foam around so it would look good? No,
yeah.
no, William, I did it for free, buddy. That's how much I
Bob,
like.
that goes with your tumbler there, Bob.
We don't dial no. Hey, that's what I should put on it. We don't dial 911.
That's pretty cool. Somebody welded that thing up. It's I don't know. It's all welded
Steel.
pieces. Yeah,
The,
it's, like those chickens
thick is
are.
it?
It's just it's thin, real thin. It's above my head. I'm having trouble aiming it to you, but
BLT.
I thought it was pretty cool. It's thin though.
But the so that's the the laser's hopefully gonna carry me through the off
That's
season.
the wrong end.
Hashtag generate income.
Right. That's it.
So Galloway, tell us how do you get the ideas for your parody videos, buddy? I mean, you just think that way or what?
He watches mine and Lee's videos
Yeah,
and then
watch
cuts out
Bob's.
honeycomb.
Sticks money in the middle. And it's like, oh, look at my hive. My bees are making me money.
A little bit. Well, that was actually for the giveaway, right? Cash and prizes.
Yeah, I was trying to advertise my buddies.
Oh, we appreciate it too.
That's what we do. Now, sometimes I got to say, Galloway, old Frank is a little bit more intelligent than the average guy, and he will not give you all the clues. You really have to, if you research, look, like when he done that video about the fish, nobody had a clue. I had to do a video about California turning them into fish so everybody could laugh about it. And I'm like, and honestly, until I said that and read the article, and I was like, oh, now I get it. I got to do a video.
But I got one question for you though. I got one question. If bees are fish, how come they drown in the they drown in the sugar syrup?
Yeah, how come they drowned in the water?
They'll drown in honey.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. He said bumblebees are fish. Honeybees
bumblebee.
are livestock.
No, that's only in California.
Yeah, you're
guys.
right. You caught me on that one.
Honeybees are livestock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only in California.
And only in California are bumblebees.
Hey, I was telling
free.
I was telling
You
telling
get
Earl,
cracked up,
don't let
you can't
California get a hold of that smokeless thing.
Oh yeah, we'll all be smokeless before it's over.
Yeah, they'll ban smokers, so you have to. Use
I know.
that, I told you we think alike, dude, on some things.
Well, isn't the smoker just a big straw that they're sucking smoke out of? That's already banned in California, straws.
Yeah.
Well, you just told on yourself for not watching my
Wow.
videos.
Hey,
I watched your smokeless video when you're at your mama's house and you got mad at her for not putting peppermints in the colony. I saw it.
I saw 3 beetles. I never
That was-
see beetles. When
that
I
was
see
pretty
beetles, I go crazy.
it was
I'm
cool
like-
to see your mom.
Yeah, it didn't
told her-
take her long to get them.
Off camera, I called her Bob.
I'm surprised she didn't hit you in the head. My mom would have took the skillet to me.
No, man. My mom used to be really, really mean. And sometimes I get carried away with her, but I have to, ask her for forgiveness later. But she ain't the way she used to be, but I still talk to her like she is, and I don't mean to. She's a great woman. She's God-fearing woman, man. Great person. I am just a little rough around the edges, guys. I'm a hillbilly. I can't help it. We're not like y'all. I got a great respect for my mama. I can say things, but you don't ever want to try that.
she was setting you straight. She was setting you straight when you were fussing.
Yeah. Yeah, we do that all the time, backwards and forth. That's just our little thing we do, joking with each other, ribbing each other.
Yeah.
Just like her talking about buying frames when I got about 50 out here ready to go.
Houston's causing global warming.
And she brought you unburnt frames, and you got on her about unburnt frames.
Well, I told you it made me out to be a hypocrite, and I can't be putting in unburnt frames. That's how you get diseases.
Hey, Errol, that picture I sent you today, that experiment frame you gave Houston and I.
We'll see how they do.
You put yours in Hive yet, Houston?
Actually I did, but I don't know if what they've got done to it. I ain't been back in there, but hopefully that's going to save people a lot of money too.
That's cool. We won't share it with anybody just yet. We'll see how it works.
Right.
It's a future thing.
Yeah. Earl will have to make up another one that's blank since we already used ours, and that way everybody can see how that looks.
Well, I've got a picture.
I need to wax one up and put it on video, putting it in. See how fast they build it.
I sent y'all a picture today of me putting it in the Hive.
Guys, I come up with a wax technique that's off the charts.
Yeah.
Off the charts. A heavy duty wax technique that's awesome. I don't just coat it on there.
You had to wax the spire, didn't you, brother?
That's right. I'll put the wax on them until the knobs are gone, until it's just one smooth sheet.
That's what I do.
I put 2 in my Hive like that, dude. I'm talking about bam.
They lay on that, man. They'll do it.
I don't know what they did. It's like they took that wax and put their face in it and added a little to it, and boom, they was done.
That was good capping wax too, Earl. So
the real question is, where did Frank get the cocaine that he put on his beehive for those bees to roll around him?
That's what my daughter was asking. That's what my daughter was asking.
I'm like,
fried lobster washed up on the beach.
There was no explanation to what he was putting on there. It was just dumped on. I'm like, are these bees doing lines right now?
Backflips and everything. I'm like, is that decon? What are you doing?
The cartel must be big down there where Frank's at.
Yeah.
They are Italian bees. It could be the mob.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Bob, you put up a lot to get more work out of your bees. Well, Frank just gives his some stimulant.
That's right. Just give him a line and let
Why
them go.
do they do that?
He said, "You want more honey? Feed your bees some cocaine. They'll go get it."
Now somebody out there's like, "Hey, I got some in the back. Let's see if it really works." All his bees are dropping dead of heart attacks.
Out there 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. What's wrong with my bees?
Yeah.
Said Bob, the ex-popo. Nobody's really thinking like that, Bob. The rest of us are thinking, them bees ain't getting none. None of it.
they're foraging at night.
Yeah.
What them bees are going to get me at 1 in the morning going, what's in here? Oh, my Lord, that's the old days, guys.
We probably just lost 12 viewers right there.
No way, we went up 12.
Thank you, everybody, for coming back. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Everybody did.
I didn't mean
by
to
the way,
stop.
Okay.
Well, a third of them.
Well, it is 11:30 at night.
Man.
Bob, what's your idea of why they're on their backs?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of weird.
Idea.
I almost wonder if they're trying to get a mite off their back or something. That's a possibility.
Interesting.
The powder he put out was not the right polarity, and whenever they got close to it, like a magnet, it sucked them back on their back.
Sorry about that, man.
That's my theory.
It could be. Could be their static electricity that they've been generating while they were flying. They landed and it
That's
just
what I think.
flipped them over.
And he poured it out of a plastic bag, so it had some static charge to it, I'm sure. And it was just the same charge or the different charge, whatever, but it went, and they automatically just flipped upside down and was stuck to the pile and had to get up every time. What really happened was you smacking them.
I just tried it, and they started doing that, and I was like, I gotta go run into my camera, get my camera now. What is this?
What was it?
So
Was
what
it powdered
was
sugar?
That's what I thought.
Yes, it was just a joke. It's like, let's see what happens, and
Yeah.
had no idea they're gonna do something like that.
They
were just backflipping. Looked like they got poisoned.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
How you doing, sir?
For a split second, and then they got up and took off every time. Had to be magnetization. I'm just guessing. Maybe it was the wind coming out of the hive, and you put that pile in front of it, and it made a circle. And every time they tried to fly in, the wind spun them on their backs and body slammed them.
Dry Cut said, I thought I was watching a trailer park version of a Fred Dunn video.
Y'all just gave me so many ideas.
Thanks, Greg. Wish you are, buddy.
That's exactly right.
In today's episode, and straight from the single wide.
Lee, click that button and get in here. We need technical support.
Lee's about an hour past his bedtime already.
Greg,
oh, wait a minute. It's Thursday night. He don't have to work tomorrow.
Houston, you read what Greg said to you?
Yeah. Thank you, Greg. We're having a good time, man. Appreciate that.
We love you, Greg.
Greg, thank you so much.
Thanks for popping back over. I ended the stream accidentally. I'm sorry. We'll
it's your
figure this
fault.
thing out. Hopefully, it was. Yeah.
We're still trying to learn how to leave the studio and not in the broadcast.
Yeah, I couldn't hear anybody, and I thought, well,
that's what you get for going to the bathroom middle of the show.
Yeah, you couldn't hear anybody, then nobody could hear anybody.
Right, I stopped everybody.
I'm
I
sure.
done it the first episode.
Oh,
It was my
Houston.
turn, I guess.
Houston's about to hit 200 subs.
Yeah, he's knocking
That's
on
right.
the door.
It's got 190.
Yeah, I want to thank you for that. I really appreciate that.
Where's his hat?
I want to say praise the Lord for that.
Yeah, we've not entered in that contest because giving everybody else a fire shot.
Yeah, well,
What part about poor hillbillies makes you think you're going to get anything?
He's talking about,
Right.
he meant which hat.
I was with Houston the other day, and we was at a restaurant, and the waitress asked him for a tip. He told her plain her taters in the dark of the moon.
Don't bet on a lame horse. Don't eat yellow snow.
Yep. Don't run with scissors.
Right.
Don't play in the fire, you'll be in the bed.
Right.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get it lined out and be able to give you guys some tips and just kind of help contribute to the community, like Bob and Lee are doing over there and the stream team guys. So.
Well, it's definitely a learning curve. Every week it'll get better. Every week you guys will learn something a little bit different on how you want to do something,
I have to learn. I'm so dang on dumb. I have to learn. I don't know nothing, so to learn will be something.
Well, that
we
that StreamYard can be tricky a little bit sometimes, can't it, Johnny?
Dang it. Dang it.
Yeah, tell me about it, Bob. And I guess the reason for not sharing the audio would be if you just wanted to just play a silent video in the background, I'm guessing. Looks like that would kind of be default. You would have to uncheck.
Well, some people would just share something on their screen and talk, because we could hear y'all talking the whole time it was playing too. So
I'd like to say to everybody that the link was posted. Just scroll down the link, find it, join in.
Here, I'll post it again.
We'll post it again, but we can have up to 10 people in here, guys. Johnny paid for the deluxe version of StreamYard. Get your butts in here.
Please come on in, William.
I shared it out again on my page, so hopefully.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So it don't run with the comment.
It has to be done on your YouTube, Houston, since we're logged into you.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Hey, Earl,
Don't try it. Don't try it.
Earl should be hitting the share on his channel too, so it goes out there and bring his people that see it come in too.
You're right, baby. You're right.
Yeah, I'm surprised we got 14 this time of the evening. Well,
We're
jumped,
fixing to have
So what's
15.
Houston
I'm
going to give
watch.
away for the 200 subscribers?
yeah, see, Houston, what you gonna give away, buddy?
I don't know. I have to
What about
look
that
and
hat
see
you
what I
got on?
got.
What about that hat you got on? You could sign it.
Yeah, I could. I don't know if anybody want it.
How about one of
It
them
came in
roosters?
the protector I bought.
Hey, you can give away a half-eaten
Here comes
peppermint.
Lee. All right, there he is. Hey, I know what that ding means now, Lee.
How y'all doing
Lee.
tonight?
Doing good, buddy. Oh,
You're
man,
up past his bedtime.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling it.
Come
too.
on in, Greg. Be happy to have you, man.
That's
oh,
right.
yeah.
Ready or not, here comes
All right.
Reggie Poo. If I didn't just run him off, I
Screen
don't
up.
think I did though. Because I happen to know his friends are now calling him that a lot.
It's
I don't
past
wanna
Greg's
be
bedtime too.
Greg.
That's right. What's up, brother Greg?
Thank
Ladies
you,
and
buddy.
gentlemen, Greg.
How you guys
Burns
doing?
from
You guys are doing a great
Farm,
job.
The man.
Oh, thanks for saying that, Greg. Man, we got a lot to
Thank you.
learn. Lee's my hero, and I haven't learned everything he's trying to teach me yet.
I've been texting him.
We're trying to coach
Everybody
him up.
needs a Lee or a Brian, or you got to have the guy that can just make you all look good.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
need a
it's
tech
me and
guy.
Houston just hitting the wrong buttons.
So Johnny, how
This
many
right here
monitors you
don't
got
lie.
going?
I got 3 going. Well,
Hey, there's Bruce's bees. Hey, Bubby.
not counting my phone. My phone makes 4, and that's where Bob and Lee were texting me, telling me what to do step by step early on there. So
We're trying to coach him up.
thank y'all. Hey guys, see, I told y'all we needed to practice. We can't ever get together and practice. We're just shooting from the hip.
Hey, that's the best way to learn.
I love it,
Me and
guys. I
Lee-
love talking to community. You know it. I love it.
Sometimes me and Lee he's like, hey, I'm in the studio, so I'll just join the StreamYard, and we'll just sit in the back and just
Right.
talk, video chat with each other
Must
through
run.
StreamYard.
24 hours a
we
day
use
at your
that as
house,
our
Bob.
Zoom.
Yeah,
I
doing a
read
lot
that.
of
Where's your
everything.
beard? Are you beardless?
Yeah, he shaved it off.
I shave. Well,
Oh,
kind
don't
of.
do that. Oh, come on. That's too close.
That was bad.
I
Get that
shaved it off
German
a
white
week
skin
ago.
Get that
Did you?
German white skin back a little bit.
I know. I got to get it going again for Christmas. You know, when beekeeping runs out, I got to go to the mall, play Santa.
What's
Look
Lee
at me,
got
man.
there?
I'm all dark.
What you got, Lee? Let me give Lee the solo view here.
Smoke 'em if
Oh,
you
that's
got 'em.
nice.
Oh,
I like that.
Lee.
Love it.
Lee's got his little gear store going now.
Nice.
I have to get me one of those.
How much you asking for those, Lee?
I say that all the time.
Heck, I don't even remember how much they are.
That's okay. I'll go to your site and look. That's all right.
I guess my
Yeah, if you
version
look
of the
in-
smoker is more of a vape or something.
If you look in the description of any of my new videos, there's a link in there.
Yeah, cool.
Vape them if you got them.
Yeah,
Along with their coffee
Love
cups.
it, Lee. Love it,
I
buddy.
like it's the large size, you know.
All right, Greg, I have a question for you.
I'd make some
Uh-oh.
stuff. I thought somebody buy it.
Since you're the queen guru, with my 2 frame mating dukes,
Mhm.
I went out there, I was doing a live, and all of a sudden I saw a little cluster of bees, probably 5 or 6 bees. And I looked at them, and it was a queen that just landed on the 4x4 in between mate nukes. And I was wondering, it's my belief it was probably a virgin queen that was coming back from a mating flight and just lost her way and landed. And have you ever seen that where they just like land somewhere and then you're like, well, where does this go?
You mean like find virgins on your boot or a live top or a top of a bucket or on your hive tool or the back of a truck or
yeah,
front door or
she just
No,
landed
like
in between
crazy
colonies.
Things, man. Bees do
no,
crazy
our
things.
queens are trained. We definitely trained them with shock sensors to come home exactly when. I tell you,
Little ankle bracelets.
Bob, they're just a bunch of bugs in a box that we think we understand, and the fact of the matter is we don't.
Well,
We
as
don't
soon
know
as we
nothing.
realize that, then we really start to learn, and you'll find them things all over. I mean, for example, we're going through our 4-ways, making up a bunch of nukes, and after I pulled the nuke out, I drop a cell in so they can make a new queen right away. And the next week I checked in there just to see how the cells were doing, and now all of a sudden I have a very large, very mature laying queen inside of that hive that came out of another. She came from the mating yard at half a mile away. flew in the wrong
Just-
door, nowhere even close. So they do all kind of dumb stuff, Bob. I don't know.
Well, not as dumb as I was when I caught her. I put her in a roller cage and I set her back down right there. I'm like, well, let me just set her right back where she was in the roller cage. And then I realized that it didn't have a plug in the end. It just had a queen cell protector. So she walked back out and was gone. And I'm like, well, I hope she found the right door to go in. So
those queens are stronger than a lot of folks give them credit for. If you just put
Amen.
a JZBZ in a roller cage in an incubator, you will find a mess of virgins outside of the roller cages, dead, and one walking around there like she owns the place. So we tried. Sometimes we'll put just a little piece of hot globby wax or something on there just to kind of seal that thing down so they can't get out. I can't believe some of the things that they do sometimes. It humbles you.
I wonder
If anybody's afraid of handling queens, I think the first thing you should always do is start handling the drones. Just pick up drones, start handling them. They'll give you a confidence because bees are just a little bit tougher than you think, but not so tough you can't hurt them. But they're tougher than you think.
Yeah.
I would imagine she's no different than any other bee when she goes to a front of a colony. She probably can smell the pheromone in there, and if it's weak or strong.
Oh my God!
Oh, maybe I'm in the wrong door. You know.
You know what I done the other day? I had a drone and I was playing with
I'll
it.
vouch for that.
And I was like, hey, he's got a varroa on him or something. So I got my glasses and I looked and I touched it and it was poop.
It was poop.
You have to taste it to find that out, I think.
I was not licking that, man. No, I tried Lee's Swarm Commander Spritz and I'm never doing that again.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how'd that work out later that night.
Yeah, where'd you go?
Dude, the next day I would smell lemongrass oil. And
That's
it's like a mouthful of gasoline. That's what it felt like. A mouthful of gasoline just burning.
Rough.
Well, he said
Just
30
burning.
minutes. It took Earl longer than that.
That's funny. It does say
no, it did
not
take me
for.
longer.
It does say right on the bottle, not for human consumption. By the way,
But when
Yeah,
has
but
that
we
ever
do
stopped
over-
anybody?
do that.
Come
right
on.
there.
I washed my mouth out. I gargled. I brushed my tooth. I throw
I brushed my
lemon
tooth.
juice in my mouth. I put lemon juice in my mouth. I done everything, and it still was horrible. It was horrible.
When he came back, Greg, I thought he was muted because he wasn't saying anything. And I kept saying, "You're muted, man. You're muted." And he said, "I'm not muted.
Oh,
I just can't talk."
I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to expose it to oxygen. It caused some kind of burning chemical reaction that I did not desire.
I guess not.
I had a.
Now those tastes. Excuse me, Bob. You guys got those taste tests started, Greg. That was y'all's fault. Ag and Brian on to drink the Hive Alive, right?
Yeah, I
Wasn't
wouldn't
that
go
where that
licking
came-
drones though.
It was
That's
those guys. Yeah.
Man, I had a panic attack last week, Greg. I went out to the colonies and I was making a brood bomb, right? I just took a nuke and made a bunch of brood frames, extra nurse bees to carry over to my nuke yard and put frames of brood in them. And I'm pulling from these nukes that I bought that I haven't treated yet, right? So I pulled them out and I see mites walking on the honeycomb.
oh gosh.
And
Oh, wow.
man, the next day I went out there and blew them up. I mean, you could probably see mushroom clouds coming out of my bee yard because I was.
I mean, don't think I ain't got formic acid on the back burner. I told you I got it.
And if anyone asked me how much did you give them, a cap full,
Whatever it
whatever the cap was, that's what they got. You know, I don't know.
About that much, huh?
I'm sure
Yeah.
the cap holds the legal dose because the label is the law. Wouldn't none of us go against that?
Pretty small.
I would recommend anybody do
Mhm.
different.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Of course
Don't be
not.
started on that nonsense.
my
But now
thought
I'm a
is I
hillbilly,
can make more
and I
honey,
can't-
but I don't want to make more bees.
I'm a hillbilly, and my understanding of things is different than others. So 1 to 5 to 6, we can't count good up here.
Now I'm new at all this, for the mites because I used to go, natural till I quit. I couldn't afford to buy bees anymore. I kept losing them. So, what's the a good alternative to mix with those? I heard you mention combos, Greg.
Amen. I believe
now
that's the
what's-
key. Combo punching.
Now, what besides OA? What would you recommend?
Well, I'll just say what we've used that worked in that video we put out last the end of the summer, the mite wash video, those numbers were. You might have heard me say it in the last live stream, and I didn't mean to get so intense with it, but this is a subject that's I kind of get fired up about. But we no longer are using rubbing alcohol as the wash solution. It has let us
I
down for
heard
too many
that. Yeah.
years. It's let
Amen.
too many other
Amen.
folks down. But what we have found is we were blessed with the wisdom of using Dawn dish soap and using that as our metric. Our bees are living and they're thriving. Um, so that being said, when just using alcohol, the numbers are way too low, and I think that's why everyone's bees are dying. It's not an
Question.
accurate number.
Question. Is that where you think the aggravation or the animosity comes in? Is that same as I know, that until we get on the same page and start helping each other instead of thinking, oh, I got it, or oh, I got it, or well, I'm not going to do that because it's stupid. But until we get on the same page, and even though I read that poem out to be goofy, so many true things were in it, about how we should govern our lives a little more like the bees, and put the health of the colony. And that's what I'm for here tonight. This whatever this is on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, it's a hive of bees, and if we don't make the decision that's best for all of us, then I don't understand what are we doing, because we're supposed to be learning from our bees, and they make the decisions that's best for all of us, and that's the same thing we should do.
Yeah.
And if we keep fighting about it, we're never going to get the solution. If you keep saying, I'm sorry, there's somewhere goes out and buys a $500 outfit and he's doing it this way, and another guy goes out and gets him a gas burner and does it the English way, or another guy uses camouflage, or another guy uses fluvalinator, another guy uses Amatrez or Thymol or Formic. There's so many things that we can do to these bugs, and it's based on our area, our climate, and our populations. But I agree so much. If we know for a fact alcohol is not giving us the readings of Dawn dishwashing liquid or detergent, why would you use alcohol? I mean, why not just go do a sugar shake if you're going to do alcohol, if you want to get to that point? And therein is the frustration. If we're not all
Yeah.
going to do it right, we can't do it
Frustration,
right.
I
And
think,
if we
is
can't do it right,
definitely the word. Now, I wouldn't say angered or the trouble is, there's a whole entire screen full of hillbillies here. Some of us play 3 strings, 4 strings, 5 strings, you name it, right?
Amen.
Some might even have unisons. The thing about it is, we can't. Yes, this is all about community, and this is all about us learning and figuring this whole thing out together. But in a way, it's not. In a way, it's you spending time with your bees, figuring out what works for your bees in your context with your goals. Because what you guys are going to do on the northern Appalachians versus the south, or right there in the heart of the Blue Ridge, it's all going to be a lot different when we get into the Midwest or the Southeast, or these things
Amen.
change. And until what shifted for us is when we finally said, I am absolutely, and this is not just a beekeeping thing, this is a holistic agriculture, organic agriculture, permaculture. These challenges run rampant in every single modality of this thing, where we try to latch on to information that appears to be successful, and we spend all of our time either confirming the bias that we have that supports, well, this message is true, so I'm going to support it, I'm going to say this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to da 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 da. We
Right.
spend more time trying to bolster our positions with these ideas than spending time out there actually trying to understand what is truly going on and then adjusting. Most folks spend way too much time just trying to copy and paste a certain way of doing something
Amen. Yeah.
without spending the time learning and actually getting the positive and neutral feedback right from the bees are going to tell us exactly what's going on. When I'm doing all these things that everyone says to do, and your bees will live and my bees are dying, it only takes you a few years of doing that and losing a lot of money to where you say, hey, this isn't working. And now I'm comfortable saying it's not working for me. I'm taking my bees, my business, my farm into my own hands, and I'm going to be the one that's going to be responsible for what these bees move. There's that old was it Henry David Thoreau? where it's the at the very end of it, it's as I'm the master of my fate, the captain of my soul. You are the one that's responsible for your bees. You know, there is not a live chat, there is not a university, there's not a document, there is not a label that's going to save you or you're going to save your bees. What's going to save your bees is you spending time with those bees and actually seeing what's going
Amen.
on, make those changes, and
Open-mindedly. Open-mindedly. If you go to the
open-mindedly, and
hive
then when
without
it's not
knowing
working,
everything,
and say, hey, this is not working, let's course correct. And until you can do that, that takes a lot. That takes you falling off
Right.
your ego horse. You and the horse you rode in
amen.
on have to get humbled before you get to that point. Don't get me
Mhm.
started,
I,
Earl.
and
You will.
yeah,
You
They
have to
will
be
humble
able.
you. But here's the thing: you got to read the hive, act accordingly. You can't just go in with your mind made up what you're going to do. You don't know yet. The bees have got to tell you what to do. So read the hive, act accordingly.
And you have to
That's
be
the only
able
way
to
I know.
admit. You have to be able to admit that you're wrong. When you
Yeah.
do something
And you don't
wrong, you
know it
have to.
all.
Right. Hey, I did that.
Nobody
It was
does.
wrong. Let me do this. You know,
It happens
we'll
a
fix
lot
it.
in
right.
beekeeping.
But cut
That's the
you
way I
out of
look
it.
Is
at
there
it.
science
The
out
issue
there
is
that can help us?
Well,
Yeah, but
that's what
we're
I say.
unaware of it.
Like Bob said, admitting that you're wrong. If you can admit that you're wrong, you might actually help somebody else that's not to make that same mistake.
Right.
Now, it might be
Amen.
something that works in their area, it might not. But if you can admit that you messed up, that might save somebody else from doing the same
Oh, if your
problem.
beekeepers will admit to it, if your beekeepers will admit to it, you have been wrong in the past more than you've ever been right. Because I know I have. There's so many things that I thought that I dreamed up, and then I read this article that said nothing new is in beekeeping. Uh, if you think of it, it's already been done.
See you,
You just
Bruce.
haven't read about it. And then I read in the Bible, there's nothing new under the sun, which
nothing
makes
new
me
under the sun.
believe that that is absolutely true. That it's not. I mean, we forgot a lot of what we needed to know for some reason when the war was over and we had uh, our sugar back. We didn't want to have to just eat honey and everything anymore because everything tasted the same like that same honey. And we got away from it and started using sugar, and sugar became easy. But then sugar started killing us, and we decided to go back to honey. And now these natural ways are becoming more and more popular. And Greg, we don't announce ourselves as Homestead, but all three of us believe that as far as being a hillbilly, you have to have a homesteader's life because that's gardens, hunting, livestock. That's how I learned my plants and flowers was cattle. So that's just something that we all. I think it goes hand in hand.
It's
Husbandry,
all
they
it's
call
all
it.
connected. A lot of
Yes,
us
sir.
are. I'm only a couple generations removed from. Barefoot dirt floor West Virginia hillbillies. We're all. We don't have to.
All of
If
us
we're
are.
true, we're only a couple. We're not far away from that. And the more time you spend getting tuned up and embracing that, I think the further along you get with it. The trouble with all these beekeeping things, isn't the treatment. It's not the timing. It's not a lot of these problems are that three-letter word that I keep hearing up. You, your beekeeping, your as soon as you take you out of the equation and you no longer
Yeah,
have any
amen.
ego or pride or you insert yourself when it's just now this is just a thing that I did. Here is the method. Did it work or did it not work? Now all of a sudden
That's
we can
it.
actually start to see things for what they are rather than say, now here's the problem. If we say my method or this is how Bob's method or this method or that method, now all of a sudden we have a person, a character, an ego attached to it. It's a lot harder to shake those ideas off and start fresh when we place the pride and the ego thing in there. So don't get me started on that. But I've had a lot. I've shifted my mentality completely over the last few
Amigo,
years. Where it's
ego is not your amigo. That's what you say.
oh,
Ego
I
is
like
not your
that.
amigo.
That's a shirt. You need that shirt right there on your
Never heard
channel.
that.
Ego is not your amigo.
Hey, Greg, can I ask you a question, buddy?
Yeah.
You always do the liquid soap washes. What percentage of time do you find, or I mean, an estimate of percentage of time do you find that you don't then have to treat?
Um. It. We finally get to that point. The little thing that we recently just did with the learning yard here at the farm. We had some packages. They went on for like, maybe a month or so. And then we were teaching our folks how to do these washes and what to do about it. We washed them with rubbing alcohol and with Dawn, and we found 0 in the alcohol, and we had 4 mites and a count of 300 with the Dawn. I'm immediately at that same day, treated everything with oxalic acid, and then we checked back in, would have been 14 days, and there was 0. Now, they were 0 with the Dawn dish soap.
What is your mixture?
1.5 tablespoons of Dawn Ultra dish soap and 1 gallon of water. Now, the jug is probably what makes all the difference. So if you don't have a Cane's chicken in your area and you can't recycle one of those really nice heavy-duty sweet tea gallon jugs, it's probably not going to work for you. But it's really simple. So Johnny, to answer
You
the
mean
question,
you never shook a lid and the lid fly off of that old fake milk with the push-on lids?
no, they've got nice tight screw-ons. You ain't got to worry about that. I can put that in the truck. What I actually do is put those screw tops on, and then put that. About the only good use that I've ever found for a Pro Nuke is just to store crap in. And so one of the things that I store stuff in is my wash cups and treatments and gallons of soap washes go right inside there, carry around with the yard with me and all that. But Johnny, it was after treating with OA. In a time that they had brewed, they went 0. So we had just got them in a weird uptick. It knocked them down. And then a lot of times we are finding 0s and 1s. If I'm finding 0s and 1s with dish soap, I know that I am squeaky clean. But there's just a certain, I see your guys' backdrop here, has the bees, but you can see with the flash from the lens here, I'm assuming is what that is, creating that light. When you crack open that lid and you start working them frames, and those bees just have a shine to them. They've got a shine. They've got a vibe to it. Sometimes when they're this clean, my bees have never looked. They just have a different coat to them. They got a different sheen. I don't know. Anyways, don't get me started on all that. It makes a difference.
Part of the reason I was going there is because I don't do the washes, but I treat anyway, and I felt like that if I did do the washes, I would, and when I saw mites, I would treat every hive, and so I feel like the odds would be pretty low that I wouldn't see at least 1 or 2. But you're saying ones and zeros with a dish soap, then you consider that clean enough, and you don't hit them with the OA.
Well, when we had 4 mites, at 300, that's only 1 point something odd percent.
Sure.
But we wanted to see what would happen if we go ahead and shoot them with OA and kind of see what they did. It worked. Where this becomes really important, and Houston was asking about it a little bit earlier in that video we did last year or in last fall. I'm working through all this, trying to figure out what am I actually seeing here. And when all the colonies that we treated based on the Dawn results, we hit with a 1-2 punch, which was Apogard and OA. And all of those colonies not only survived the winter, but they thrived, and they made splits, and those were just made beautiful, beautiful brood. All the colonies that we didn't get both treatments on, every single one of them died. So the reason sometimes you guys know, you can only do so much in the moment. You do the best you can. You go with your gut. You do that thing. And then sometimes it's not till later on we learn whether that was the right move or not. Well, here we are in like February and March, and I'm cracking lids just to check up on things. And I noticed, Greg, you dummy, you did not take all your treatment shims off. So to treat with Apogard, I make a little 3/4 by 3/4 shim that goes all the way around. I just take I build a box, and I zip it through the table saw, at 3/4, and it gets right at those finger joints. And so you can make a bunch of little shims for that. Well, the colonies that made it through the winter, here's exactly what clued me in that the gut feeling was correct. Every colony that still had the treatment shim on when I cracked the lid, you know what I found on the inside? I found my Apogard card with crystallized thymol on it. So they actually had crystallized thymol being emitted in the entire colony the entire winter. And those are the ones that made it. Now, the alcohol said 2%. The Dawn said 7 point some percent. So you tell me, if I would have not put that on there and that vapor would not have been emitting through that colony the entire winter, would they still be here?
Yeah.
I can say without a shadow of a doubt, no, they wouldn't be here, because the colonies that I didn't get around to doing that treatment,
Oh, okay.
they didn't make it.
Oh,
So
wow.
just put
Wow.
that in the back of your head.
Are
for
you
later.
aware, Greg, of Beekeeper's Choice?
No.
It's a feeding supplement made by Scott Derrick at Blythewood Bee Company, and it contains thymol. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
Honeybee Healthy with
Gotcha.
thymol, and I want it. First of all, I want it, and now that I've been trying it, I don't think I can quit using it. I love the benefits of knowing they're steadily getting that thymol, which does the same thing that, I mean, that's basically what Hive Alive's doing. They're giving you a constant small dosage of thymol with some vitamins and supplements. And I always feed high protein, high amino acid foods to my bees. And to be able to add thymol to it with that Beekeeper's Choice from Blythewood, I think is really made a difference for me. And I wanted to share that with you if anybody wasn't aware of it. Beekeeper's Choice.
Fine syrup's a big deal. I know a lot of guys use it. I do have to mention, I see Galloway Lights here has the most important piece of beekeeping equipment right there on screen. Do you guys see what it is?
His
Coming
chair.
down out of that top corner.
The
That's
thinking
it.
chair?
Chair.
Oh,
The thinking
flag.
chair.
Okay.
Got that
Amen.
chair and the flag.
I support you so much with that. You don't know. And that's, look, my story. I tell everybody this story about beekeeping, about a 5-year-old boy that got bee stung at school, and they took me down Papaw's and made me sit with Papaw because Papaw had 2 chairs in his apiary, and one of them was mine because they was going to break my fear of bees. And by that evening, I was taking a broomstick and knocking down those water weeds, those American bamboo or Japanese knotweed, whatever you want to call it,
Oh yeah.
knocking them down with a stick and not getting stung, and had no fear of the bees, simply because sitting in a chair with my papaw, and he would say, "Don't move," and they would land on me, and I would be scared, and he'd say, "Don't be scared, they'll know," and I'd quit being afraid, and they would just fly off, and they would land and fly off. And after a few times of that, I wasn't scared no more. And he started explaining how, in his words, in the way we communicated, that they can read your thoughts. They not know your words, but they know what you're thinking, what you're acting.
They
If
know
you
what
go
you're
to a
about.
hive mad, your heart beating and your body's like a lie detector when they hook you up. It reads that sweat that you can't see. Uh, they read the pheromones in the sweat that we can't see or know that's there, but they know how you feel. If you say, "Man, I'm going to get eat up today," I bet you will, because you're already thinking that. You have to change your mindset, and when you learn that Zen mindset, and I've heard you talk about it, Greg,
Yeah.
it changes your interaction with them bees.
And everything. How you go about everything. That's a big. A lot of folks, when the word hillbilly, a lot of folks I don't think really know what that means, but it is.
Amen.
When I say the word hillbilly, it's always in a positive light. It's actually in my
Thanks.
mind is a badge of honor. It's a certain way of life that not a lot of folks have the blessing to be able to live. But the hillbillies are tuned in to the cycles of nature. They are tuned in to planting by the light of the moon. They are tuned in to when to butcher their animals. They're tuned into all these things that happen within nature, their bees, their animals, their garden, their crops. But I tell you what's cool, Earl, and I bet you know this because you seem like a super smart, tuned in guy. But
Mm.
did you know, since this is the Hillbilly Hives live chat, did you know that hillbillies historically, if you go back and study every civilization of mankind, if you go back to every single civilization,
They all
every
had hillbilly.
civilization has ended in collapse. But you know who the survivors were? They were always the hill folks. Every single time. Now, why is that? The hill
Because we
folks
can
are.
raise our own food. We can walk in the woods like me and Houston was talking with a pocket knife
Yeah.
and come out 6 months or a year later and be like, beard down to here, belly out, and feeling good. Like, hey, where you been? You know, it's not nothing new to us because I grew up shooting, camping, fishing, this tree, that tree, go get some medicine. My mom's side of the family, Shawnee's side, man, they was heavy into that medicine stuff. And my grandma, uh,
Yeah.
different plants, and it's just I've got it all around my hives. I can't help it. I love my different plants and herbs and spices and stuff. They all got meaning, and I know a lot of wild ones I can go get when I need them.
Well, that's just I wanted to throw it out there. Hillbilly Hives, it's not a bunch of backwoods, toothless, don't know what they're doing, don't know their
Except
rear
me.
from a hole in the ground folks are some of the wisest, most tuned in folks that you ever would meet. And so, fella, it's an honor, fellas, to know you how I do so far. Looking forward to seeing you a lot more in person later on down the road here. But I love what you guys
Yeah.
are doing. I appreciate you letting us jump on earlier on the day that you guys are getting your stuff
Any way we
going.
can help you guys, brother.
We appreciate you guys. Whatever we can do to help you guys, you just let us know. But I'm going to jump off here and finally, I think, hit the hay. You guys are doing a great job. I appreciate all of you. Bob, Lee, Galloway, Earl, Johnny, all of you. Appreciate you guys. Looking forward to following you and seeing what you guys are up to later on down the road.
Thanks,
Same
Greg.
here, man.
We'll
God
catch you
bless
later.
you and your bees.
Appreciate it. Bless you, brother. God bless you, bees.
Let's all put on disguises and go up there and go through his honey school thing on one day at bee yard of his, at learning yard. Let's put on disguises and go up there like we don't know him and we're just new.
Yeah, yeah.
If we wear bee suits, he won't be able to tell. We put on good disguises.
Well, what do you think,
And then
Earl?
at the end, we'll reveal it and jump out with the new video going, ah, ha, ha, we punked you.
I think we went about an hour before we accidentally shut down, and now we've been going an hour again. What do you think, buddy?
Yeah, that's the 2 hour marker, ain't it, brother? Don't want them to love us so much they don't want to see us no more.
That's like us. They want to see us anymore.
Hey, if y'all come
No,
back
we
next
beg
week,
for you, Bob.
if
We
y'all
beg
will
for
come
some
back
more
next week,
Bob.
I promise. If you'll come back next week, we'll try to get our shared screens correct. I've got that audio trick down now, I think, guys.
We needs our Bobs and Lees. Guys, as always, we thank everybody for showing up. And don't forget, Tuesday night is the Bob and Lee B Show with Bob and Lee,
Yes,
Walker
miss
B
that.
Ranch, Kodiak Farms. Wednesday night, Stream Team Lives. You got Bruce's B, Brian Coker with Castle Hives. And you also got Greg with Nature's Image Farm, Greg Burns. You want to check that out. And then you'll have us on a Thursday night. And you never know, we may have to scoot back again, but we will try to be here at Hillbilly Hives Live Thursday night. And everybody's at 8 p.m. Eastern, right?
Hey,
Yeah.
next week y'all going to be on Johnny's channel?
That's right. Yeah, we'll be
Yes,
on the
sir.
Tennessee Mountain Bees channel next week. Just come over there and like, share, and subscribe, please. And I'm going to be doing a giveaway pretty soon because I just got over 100 subscribers, and that I've got a Dirt Rooster hat autograph. Plus, Randy threw in a T-shirt. Bob called it up. He came in on a live stream.
I didn't get my T-shirt and hat.
It's a great time. But anyway, yeah, tune in next week, Tennessee Mountain Bees, and
Thank you, Galloway Lights, for showing up tonight.
Thank you so much for coming, and we really enjoy your videos.
Thank you,
buddy.
Bob and Lee.
Thanks for being a special
No
guest.
problem.
As always, thank you, Bob and Lee, for everything y'all do.
Oh, thank
We
you.
appreciate
And I
y'all.
want to say thank you, Johnny, and thank you, Houston. I love both of you. You brothers are awesome. I appreciate it, and
love
can't
you,
wait
bro.
to do it again next week.
All right, that sounds good. Well, good night, everybody, and may God
Keep
bless you.
Australia in your prayers, guys. They've already had enough flooding and hail down there. The row is just an added problem.
Yeah. Well, may God bless you and your families and your bees, folks.
God bless y'all and your bees.
Next week.
Roll
Good
that
night.
beautiful jam.
Let's see here. I think I was going. Let's wait till next week to play that, okay, buddy? Because it's such a
You
long.
sure?
Yeah.
I sure like it. Well, yeah, you're right. That's a 5-minute tune, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get y'all next week. Till then, like he said, God bless y'all. God bless your bees. We love you. We do. We appreciate y'all showing up. See you next
Thank
time.
you. Thank y'all again.
I'm
so
out.
much.
Ending broadcast.
Good night.
Good night.